Who here has a job where you feel like it's not aligned with what I want to do? I'm not being appreciated for my strength. I really dread going into the office, and Monday blues are a real thing. Surely there is a better way of thinking through all of this and doing something different. When I read this book, it gave me immediate clarity around how I thought about my work, my values, and what I want to do in life. So hopefully by the end of this video, you will also see what is it that you are looking for in your work, in your values, and how you want to show up in life. According to Charles Handy, the Irish management thinker, philosopher on organizational behavior, he identified 4 gods, Zeus, Apollo, Athena, and Dionysus, who shape our values and what type of work we find fulfilling. Let's start with a quick self-assessment with the question, what do you do for a living? Write the answer down and we'll use it as an initial diagnosis for which god rules your life. Take me, for example. During the day, I work with YouTubers to help them grow their influence, their business on YouTube as a part of a team at Google. And at night, I teach framework thinking, PKM on this YouTube channel and in my courses. What about you? Because we're going to see how you answer that question will affect who your Greek god might be. Now, if you said something like, I work for person X, like I work for Sundar or I work for Susan, she used to be the CEO of YouTube, no longer here, but I really like her. Or, like Steve Jobs or Gary Vee, then your guiding god is Zeus, king of all gods, and we'll get into what that means in a second. Now, if you said, I work for company X, like, I work for Google, then your guiding god is Apollo, the god of the sun, driving his chariot across the world every single day to bring light to the world. Now, if you say, I work in role X at company Y, like, I work with creators at YouTube, at Google, or I'm in marketing at Apple, then your guiding god is Athena, the goddess of war and wisdom. And if you say, I am X, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a YouTuber, then your guiding god is Dionysus, the god of festivities. Let's get into what each mean and what the values are that are inherent to you and what kind of culture really bring out the best in you. Let's get to it. Zeus, king of all gods, this is when you said, I work for person X. If Zeus is your god, it means that you're intuitive and you see the whole picture. You move fast to solutions, you don't like to get bored, and you love to respond to stimuli rather than sticking with that very predictable routine every single day. Zeus likes to learn by trial and error. You like that apprenticeship model. So you really value the person that demonstrates the traits that you like rather than the process that they use necessarily. So if you are someone who's guided by Zeus, then your life purpose becomes very clear when you find your Zeus. Your exemplary person who you want to become the apprentice for. Because it doesn't matter how good your job is, what cutting edge technology or knowledge that you're working on, the ways of working doesn't evoke your curiosity if it's not embodied by the person who has everything that you want. Now you'll thrive in a Zeus culture where it's almost like a club. Things move based on your reputation, based on who you are and what you know. For example, Handy gives this really great demonstration of if there's a report on what's going on in the market, a market analysis. A Zeus person will not ask, what does this report say? They will ask who made this report. That makes all the difference. So you're all about adapting to situations, being trusted because of who you are. The uncertainty excites you because that means freedom. And success is defined by the power over people and over events. So most Zeus find themselves in startups, smaller teams, the entertainment industry, places where apprenticeship happen and you are awarded for tackling uncertainty and proving what you can do with anything. And this contrasts so much with the next god, who is Apollo. Apollo is all about logical, sequential, predictable ways of working. Apollo's chariot pulls the sun every single day to bring light to Earth. So if Apollo is your guiding god, then you have the commitment, the work ethic, the dedication to bring that certainty around day in and day out. Duty is a really important concept to Apollonians, and Handy says that they really strongly believe that the whole around Apollonians is organized by people who should know what they're doing. So they're less curious about why these uncertainties happen, why are things structured this way. They're all about let's embody the structure and let's create some certainties within it. Apollonians are really driven by learning, not because they want to deal with uncertainty, but they see that the world is structured with problems and solutions. If you learn more solutions, you'll be able to solve more problems. So convergent thinking is very strong in Apollonians. And in the Apollonian world, power doesn't come from a person, not from the person who exerts over other people, other events. It all comes from your title, your role. Because again, the structure is important. Every single person has a role inside the organization. It's not about how special you are and what you can do. It's about how well do you fit into this role? Because you are replaceable, it's the role that really stays. And if you don't have that role, you don't have that title, and you want someone to do something, you can only ask. You can't tell. Doesn't matter who you are. Authority that comes with that role allows you to not only tell other people what to do, but to create more rules so you have more certainty. This management style is very classic of all big corporations, right? There's enough structure, there's enough people, there's enough experience, and enough stability in the business to allow for something like this. Now, if you're Apollonia, you love this, right? Everything's predictable, you get lots of perks, it's the best job possible. But if you're not Apollonians, then this creates so much tension. Now, this is a perfect time to let you know that for all of us, sometimes we don't just have one god that leads us. Even though these two, Zeus and Apollo, seems like polar opposites, we might still exhibit both characteristics. The context might be different, right? We might be Zeus at work, but Apollonian at home, vice versa. And there are two more gods we have to talk about as well. So the thing is to notice which context of your life do you feel like there's a mismatch, and look in there and see who is your guiding god and what is the culture that you find yourself in. All right, let's go to the third god, who is Athena. Now, Athenians find themselves a little bit in between Zeus and Apollonians. They're problem solvers who use creativity and logic. Just like Athena, the god herself, right? She's the god of war and wisdom. They are people persons. They are team workers. They really believe that you can't achieve something with just one great mind. It's about working in a team. It's about coming from different perspectives. It's about connecting dots. It's not in the sense of Zeus where you worship one person, but Athena is the child of Zeus after all, and similar to Zeus, she also gets easily bored and don't really care for certainty. But unlike Zeus, she also cares for that professionalism, that self-advancement, not in the sense of Apollonians and that corporate ladder where you ride your way up. It's more about self-improvement as advancement. How can I improve my problem-solving skills? How can I connect the dots better? Learning is so crucial because Athenians work on that hypothesize, then test, then iterate system. Much like design thinking, which I'm going to make a more detailed video about here. So if you're Athena, then you need a job that gives you interesting problems to solve and a great group of people to solve the problems with. What you don't want is a workplace where they see humans as human resources. Athenians want to be seen as resourceful humans. They don't like to be told what to do. They just want to be able to show up, contribute to a problem, work with each other, and really live in that meritocracy where you prove yourself by what you can do, not by what your title is, how old you are, how long you've been here. And some common industries where you see a lot of Athenian values are management consulting, where I came from. There's also marketing, architecture, these kinds of project-based, problem-solving industries. Things have to be creative, but also analytical at the same time. And because you want to rally around problems and work with others, they're really about transferable skills, solving all sorts of problems. If you're Athenian, you want to look for that in your environment. Then there's Dionysus, the god of festivities. These are the people who said, I am X. As you can see, they don't really care about the people, they don't really care about the structure, they care about who they are, how they go through life, how they learn from life experiences. Exaggerating your individuality is almost how Dionysus wins. Now, the similar thing to Zeus is that you also care about making a difference as a human being, but it doesn't have to be exerting power over other people, over events. You can even do it quietly and you feel satisfied. You could just write a poem, not for anyone but yourself. You can heal that patient without telling the world that you've healed them. It's about the art of doing so. While Athenians might be finding subtle ways to promote themselves, Dionysus don't care for that marketing stuff. The important thing is to learn through experiences by immersing yourself in that art. And you don't want other people telling you what to do. When Dionysus is your guiding god, then you don't work for an organization, you work in an organization. Management doesn't come up top, it comes at the very bottom. These are the people who are organizing your schedules, organizing all of the admin that you don't want to do. So environments that thrive for Dionysus are partnerships usually. Law offices, medical practices, some talent agencies. You are the star of your own movie and only those organizations that recognize that work for you. So the question is, who is your Greek guiding god? For me, I'm an Athenian. So imagine just putting an Athenian in some non-Athenian organization. Let's say, Apollonian, the classic corporation. Then you're going to have so many clashes because I want that creative and analytical combination. I want to find those interesting projects. I want to work with other people who can together, solve these big problems. And yet to an Apollonian, it will be very confusing. Like, why are you not staying within your role and doing what you're told? Why are you unnecessarily stirring the pot? Even though to me, it's not unnecessary. It's the only way I know how to survive. So know who you are, what you value, and what kind of environment currently surrounds you, and how you can find the right environment where you can thrive. And if you enjoy this framework, check out more here or find my course down below. See you in the next video. Bye.